Hello, and welcome to Quick Charge by Electrek. I'm Mikey G, and it's Monday, November 28th. Over the last few days, Tesla blogs, including Teslarati and Tesmania, have reported that Tesla has set up a semiconductor joint venture with Switzerland's Annex Semiconductor in China. Now, the report claims that Tesla, along with Annex, have invested $150 million to start the new venture and produce automotive chips. The information actually comes from only one source, a Chinese website called IGWay. The site itself belongs to a semiconductor consultation firm that appears to have an internet presence of about 2 years. Another issue arises when sources in the semiconductor industry say that they have never heard of a company called Annex Semiconductor. Aside from the current report, there is not much information outside the company's very generic website. And to make matters worse, the links to the company's social media accounts were not working, and we couldn't find an actual social media presence of any kind. The address of the headquarters is also not real, and all other supposed offices don't have any listed addresses. And wouldn't you know it, news reports say that Annex Semiconductor was bought by Zurich Fund back in June for $5 billion. But also, just like Annex, the Zurich Fund has only a cheap generic website that looks more like a hastily made splash page and not a company with $5 billion to spend. It's no surprise that nobody on LinkedIn is claiming to work for either of these companies, let alone the short staff list that looks like a stock photo. So at least with this report, the sources are not dense, to say the least. According to anonymous sources at Reuters, Tesla is working on a Model 3 redesign codenamed Project Highland that is going to be released by the end of next year. The report doesn't go into any details of the redesign, beyond that it will focus on cost reduction, and the vehicle should go into production at Gigafactory Shanghai and Fremont during the third quarter of 2023. It does go on to compare the redesign to the Model S, though this new report doesn't say anything about one of the biggest changes in the Model S, which was the yoke steering wheel. It's important to note that we recently reported that Reuters doesn't have a great track record on exclusive and unnamed sources on Tesla. Several of the recent reports have actually been proven to be inaccurate. In all likelihood, it's very possible that Tesla is working on a Model 3 redesign, as the program has stayed largely the same, with rolling upgrades being persistent. We may see the Model 3 refresh in conjunction with the large-scale battery casting, something that the Model 3 has yet to receive. A potential switch to the 4680 cells in late 2023 is also likely in the cards, but the Model Y will likely receive all of that first. Elon Musk has confirmed that the Tesla Semi has completed a 500-mile trip with a full load. Seems a bit last minute to be completing the first 500-mile drive, considering that Tesla is expected to deliver the production version of the truck this week. But Tesla has presumably previously already completed many shorter trips, and the confirmed range of 500 miles with a single load just needs to be done once, I suppose. 500 miles with that full load between charges is actually a pretty good sweet spot for commercial long-haul semi-trucks, because after 8 hours of driving, a break is mandatory. But I'm not sure how often they actually do that, considering I've seen a lot of Gatorade grenades on the road. Tesla is going to hold an event for the first Tesla Semi deliveries on Thursday, December 1st. Volkswagen brand CEO Thomas Schaefer, which by the way is not the CEO of the entire auto group, he says that in Europe, Germany in particular, that they are rapidly losing their competitiveness as they fall behind in the race to clean energy economy. According to Schaefer, Europe lacks price competitiveness in many areas due to higher energy prices and limited supply chains. He adds that the transition to clean energy economy needs to be urgently prioritized, and that unless they are able to reduce energy prices, investment in energy-intensive production or new battery cell factories will be nearly unviable. This is some concerning perspectives from one of the largest companies, making one of the largest transitions in automotive electrification. Lancia is coming back as an electric vehicle brand. Lancia has had a speckled history in the automotive world, most recently making just one car under their own name sold in Italy. But now, under its Dare Forward 2030 electrification strategy, the parent company Stellantis has given Lancia new life as an EV-centric brand. Its flagship model is not scheduled to arrive for a couple of years, but Lancia did share a new logo and a wild concept drawing that doesn't really resemble a car at all. Lancia calls the sculpture the Pura Zero, a three-dimensional manifesto that encapsulates the pure and radical language. Their first actual car will be premiered in January, following by another in April of 23. Polestar is gearing up to launch its new electric sports car, the Polestar 6, in 2026. The vehicle takes shape from the Polestar concept called O2, as in oxygen. According to some new details from Edward Trin, Polestar's Australia's product planning manager, he revealed at the Drive Melbourne event that the automaker's electric car will rival Porsche. Looking at the specs, we have a dual-motor all-wheel drive architecture, 184 horsepower and 663 pound-feet of torque, with a 0 to 62 acceleration in 3.2 seconds, top speed of 155 miles an hour. Also, the two-door electric sports car will feature an aluminum unibody for maximum strength and ideal weight, and Polestar says that this is often found on a McLaren or a Lotus. Now, will the Polestar rival the Porsche? We'll have to wait and see, but one thing's for sure, Porsche won't just stand still. Mercedes-Benz has begun rolling out an EV update subscription plan to EQ owners that can boost the 0 to 60 acceleration by as much as an entire second. Or rather, not as much as 1 second, but taking off a second. Anyways, it's an annual subscription for $1,200. According to Automotive News Europe, the update will be launched in the US to begin and won't be initially available in European markets, so the home company of Germany must be a little disappointed. Mercedes also said that the acceleration update will begin as an annual subscription but will eventually be sold on a permanent add-on basis. The price for access to the improved acceleration has yet to be determined for the buyout, or at least they haven't shared it publicly. What appears to be a Porsche 718 Boxster electric prototype was spotted testing ahead of the vehicle's unveiling. The vehicle appears to be equipped with an electric powertrain with a test mule body that still features an exhaust pipe, but the sounds of the acceleration are unmistakably battery-powered. Not much else can be ascertained from the vehicle, which is more of a testing device with an electric powertrain, but we should start to learn more about the Porsche Boxster Electric directly from Porsche, since the German automaker reportedly plans to launch it within the next generation, launching in 2025. All right, it is opinion time, and I guess I'll say something about Lancia. Actually, my brother used to have a Lancia Scorpion, if you can believe it. It was a vehicle that was briefly sold in the United States, but it actually got hampered, I think by regulation, perhaps emission regulations. I don't remember. But I remember him telling me that it was designed to be a rear engine vehicle. It was going to be a sports car, but then for some regulatory reason, they had to put the engine up in the front, and it was just terrible. It was a sports car that was more or less neutered, and yeah, nobody liked it. Nobody bought it, except my brother. So it'll be interesting to see what Lancia does when they come out with their EVs. It really is a blank slate as far as the U.S. concerned. I don't think there's anybody that I know of, other than like my brother and my family, that really would know Lancia off the top of their head. I'm sure there's some people out there. But yeah, for the wider public of buying electric vehicles or vehicles, yeah, the Lancia name is totally empty. In today's community comment found on YouTube, Single Speed wants to know what electric and non-electric bicycles I have. Well, Single Speed, I've worked in and around electric bicycles for over 10 years, including right now. I'm actually riding an e-Velo electric bike for the sake of some reviews going up on Electrek. Personally, my favorite bikes are the strange ones. Someday, when I get caught up in all my work, I'll get around to making videos on the half bike, also the row bike, and the yike bike. I've got each of these laying around, I just need to find the time. Here's actually a graphic that I will play for you at the end of the episode. I made this for my personal channel where I introduce Wacky bicycles. I'm Mikey G, and I hope you have a great day.